Your investment portfolio does not just change your bank account. It changes the way you see tomorrow. At $1,000, every mistake feels expensive. You check the balance more often than you should. A market drop of $50 can ruin your mood for an entire afternoon. You tell yourself you're investing for the long term, but part of you is still waiting for proof that this is actually working. At $10,000, something changes. The number finally looks real. You start watching the market differently. A bad day can cost hundreds, but a good month can make you believe you're getting somewhere. You begin learning the language of investing. Index funds, dividends, compound growth, risk allocation. Suddenly, money isn't just something you spend, it's something you can position. Then you reach $25,000. This is where the first psychological shift happens. You realize the portfolio can move more money in a month than you used to save in several months of work. That feels exciting until the market falls 20%. Now the same machine that made you feel powerful has taken away $5,000 without asking permission. You learn the first rule nobody puts on the motivational posters. Growth feels good when it happens slowly. Loss feels personal when it happens quickly. At $50,000, your portfolio starts becoming a quiet second employee. It doesn't call in sick. It doesn't ask for a raise. It doesn't need an office. It simply sits there, exposed to the market, doing its job while you sleep. But now another problem appears. You start thinking about the number, not your life, the number. You delay the vacation because you want to reach $60,000. You skip the purchase because you want to hit $75,000. You tell yourself you're being disciplined. Maybe you are, but somewhere between building wealth and worshiping the balance, the goal can quietly change. At $100,000, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. You have enough invested that compounding is no longer just something you read about. It becomes something you can see. A strong year can add thousands without you working an extra hour. For the first time, you understand that your future isn't being funded only by your labor. Your money has started working beside you, and that changes the question. You stop asking, how much can I earn? You start asking, how much of my life do I actually need to sell for money? That question becomes dangerous, because once you see the trade clearly, you cannot unsee it. At $250,000, your portfolio can begin to feel less like savings, and more like an escape route. You may still need your job. You may still have bills, responsibilities, and years ahead of you, but the idea of permanent dependence starts to weaken. You realize something uncomfortable. Financial freedom doesn't begin when you can afford everything. It begins when you no longer need everything. And the larger your portfolio becomes, the more that distinction starts changing your life. Long before retirement arrives, at $500,000, the psychology changes again. The portfolio is no longer something you are building from scratch. It has momentum. A 10% year can mean $50,000 before taxes or contributions. It can be thrilling. It can also be dangerous, because now you can start believing you are smarter than the market. You aren't. A rising portfolio can make ordinary luck feel like skill. A few successful decisions can convince you that you've figured it out. Then the market reminds you that nobody controls the next 12 months. You watch your balance fall. $500,000 becomes $450,000. Nothing about your life has changed. Your house is still standing. Your refrigerator works. Your job is still there. Yet your brain starts treating the missing $50,000 like something was taken from you. This quietly tests your identity. At $750,000, the portfolio becomes large enough that patience starts producing visible results. You may still contribute every month, but you begin noticing something strange. Contributions that once felt enormous now look small beside the market. At $1 million, the number carries a different emotional weight. People hear millionaire and imagine a finish line. You discover it is not. The first morning you wake up with 7 figures. Your coffee tastes exactly the same. Your rent is still due. Your family still needs you. Your body still gets tired. Old worries do not disappear because another digit appeared, but something important has changed. You have options. You can leave a job that is destroying you. You can take a year to build. You can help your parents. You can work fewer hours. You can say no without immediately calculating how long you can survive. That is what a large portfolio really buys, not luxury. Leverage over your own time. Then comes $2 million. At this level, the portfolio can become powerful enough that your decisions matter more than your effort. A normal market year can create or erase more wealth than many people earn in several years of work. And this is where another trap appears. You start protecting the number instead of using what the number was built to protect. You stop taking trips because markets might fall. You hesitate to help because you might need the money later. You keep working because another million sounds safer than the first. There is nothing wrong with wanting more. But there is a point where more stops buying freedom and starts buying another obligation. At $3 million, $5 million, or $10 million, the question gets harder. If your portfolio can already support the life you actually want, what are you still chasing? Status? Security? A bigger house? A number that makes you feel impossible to defeat, because wealth has a strange habit. At first, you chase the number because you want freedom. Eventually, the number can start chasing you, and if you aren't careful, you can spend your entire life building an investment portfolio large enough to give you freedom, while becoming too afraid to actually use it. The truth is, there is no portfolio size where life automatically becomes complete. At $1,000, you are learning to invest. At $10,000, you are learning to stay consistent. At $100,000, you are learning patience. At $1 million, you are learning what freedom actually means. And beyond that, you are learning something harder. When is enough actually enough? Because the portfolio was never supposed to become your life. It was supposed to support it. Your investments can buy time, but they cannot tell you how to spend it. They can reduce financial pressure, but they cannot repair a relationship you ignored for 20 years. They can create choices, but they cannot choose which memories you will wish you had made. That is why every portfolio size changes more than your finances. It changes your relationship with fear. At the beginning, you fear losing money. Later, you fear losing progress. Eventually, you may fear losing the freedom you spent your entire life building. So build the portfolio, invest consistently, let compounding work, but remember what the number is for, because one day, the balance will become large enough, and the question will no longer be, how much more can I make? It will be, what kind of life was all this money supposed to give me?